We are 20 seconds in today's broadcast. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with me for a few minutes. Hi, Matilda. Hello, Matilda. Hello to you. Hope you're well. Let me see if I can reposition this thing to where. Good afternoon, Philippa. Please tell me in the comments below if you can hear me clearly. One of the challenges I have sometimes is when I talk, I forget that I have to make sure that all the knobs and bits and bobs are in sync. And there was one time I came on here and I totally forgot to switch on the mic. So what I need you to tell me, guys, is if I am loud and clear. Please tell me that. Loud and clear. Travis once says I am loud and clear, and that's all I need to know. Thank you so much. Guys, very quickly, I just wanted to take a moment to give this young lady some advice, because I know, the way the vlogging cycle, the social media cycle works in Zambia is that Zambians, by nature, we get very tired of stories very quickly. When a story lasts about 3 days, it's a stretch when we go into the fourth and fifth day. Zambians become very weary and they become exhausted with one story. They want the next thing. Mwina Zambia ngamanati, one story is lingering too long. Very soon you'll start reading comments like, nanomba, but twariranda po last week. Nafuti tuleranda po. Wedete niko fimbi. That's old news, Mr. Mwewa. Not to each to deal with kaleyo. That's the nature of us as Zambians. We always we want the new thing, the new story. It's like, okay, we're done with that. What's the next best thing? What's the next big story? What's the next big scoop? Look, I know I sound a bit facetious, but you get my point. So we're now going in. This is the third, Saturday. It's about the fourth day. If we keep talking about Mrs. Kennedy, it's going to go in 4 or 5 days, and that's a long time. But on a serious note, I'd like to give this young lady some advice, and also this is advice that is very important for all of us. I think everybody that occupies the social media space has to recognize that, and I've got to show it to you here, has to recognize that the social media landscape in Zambia has evolved, and we have to evolve with it. The sooner you realize that, the sooner you recognize that, the better off you'll be. If you still walk around thinking that, I can say whatever the heck I want, I can do whatever the heck I want, and there will be no repercussions or no consequences to the things that you post. If you still hold fast to that mentality, very soon you will land yourself in problems. You'll be in trouble if you hold to that school of thought. That's an old, antiquated, archaic school of thought. Forget all of that. Discard that school of thought. The Zambian landscape, the social media landscape in Zambia has evolved. And we have to evolve with it. Let me switch this off because my phone will not stop ringing. All right. So That's the deal. Okay? Now, you know what I find curious and interesting about this young lady is that I was listening to the radio on my way to work this morning, and there was some organization that said that they had encouraged the police to find out where this girl was. And I got the sense that the police are looking for her. Now, big mistake when you evade the law, okay? And my advice to the young lady is this: there's nothing to run away from. There's nothing to be scared about. There's nothing to be fearful about. Yes, you made a mistake, and it was a blunder, and it was unacceptable, but it's not the end of the world. Just take yourself to the police, do what they ask you to do, and move on. Now, there are two rules. There are two rules that all of us have to abide by when we take on the responsibility of becoming a vlogger or a social media occupant. When you grow your audience, you have a responsibility. You may think you don't, but really underneath it all, you have a huge, gargantuan, colossal responsibility. Not only to yourself, but to your audience as well. Okay? So I got 2 points that I want to give you. The first one, here we go. Goodness. I'm going to pull this out here. This seems simple enough. On the surface, this looks like an obvious thing. You know, you look and you think, well, think before you post. But you would be surprised, and I've been guilty of this. There are times I've posted stuff, and after you post, you think, wait a minute, no, this isn't right. And then you remove it. But the rule of thumb is think before you post, because so many people are watching you. So if you stick to this rule, you have, you know the word have? Not H-A-V, you have your risks when you stick to this rule. Think before you post. Number 2, assuming that you haven't committed a serious crime, apologize sincerely. This is where many Zambian vloggers lose it. The vast majority, and I say this from an observatory point of view, I've seen this over and over and over again. Abantu besu tabayi shibokisa apologize. They make a mess of it. They end up becoming worse than what they were before because of the way they apologize. Very seldom have I watched a vlogger take full responsibility for their actions and just apologize. It's always tethered and tied and connected with excuses and, oh, well, this person here and it was those guys over there and I blame it on the alcohol and, oh, I wasn't in. Guys, take responsibility for your actions. Apologize sincerely, assuming, of course, that you haven't committed a grave crime. It's different if you've killed somebody. When you kill somebody, you can't go on social media and say, oh, I'm sorry. It doesn't compute. That doesn't work that way. But when you've plied, you know the word ply? P-L-Y. Let me spell it here for you. Okay? When you ply, here it is. Well, I will get it right in a moment. When you ply a child, when you administer an alcoholic beverage to a child, a minor, that is wrong. It's unacceptable. It's damnable. It's despicable, but it is not It doesn't have grave, it's not a death sentence. So it's a big deal, but learn from it. The best thing that this young girl can do, this Kennedy lady, the best thing she can do is learn from this experience and move on. Learn from it and move on. If she doesn't learn from it, Oprah Winfrey famously said that, God teaches us in different levels. Sometimes a pebble will fall on your head. If you don't get the lesson, a brick will fall on your head. If you don't get the lesson, a couple of bricks will fall on your head. And then if you don't get the lesson, you still don't get the lesson, guess what? A whole house will fall on your head until you learn the lesson. So learn the lesson. This is just a bad chapter in her life. Look at the young girl, this young girl that had that episode at Zekas. As despicable as that was, she moved beyond that, and now she is a candidate. Don't make me say too much about that, okay? She's a candidate. She's an aspiring MP. Why? Because she didn't really learn from her mistakes, because she sort of makes other mistakes. Anyway, you get my point, okay? My point is learn from it, move on, all right? Okay. Guys, that's all I had to say. How many minutes was that? How many minutes was that? So, guys, if you'd like to give me a call and tell me what you think about this fiasco, okay? Give me a call on this number and tell me what you think about this young girl and her evading the. It appears to me, I could be wrong. I'm not, forgive me if I'm wrong, but it appears to me she hasn't availed herself to the police. I'm trying to avoid using the word evade, because I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know if that's what she's done. But it appears to me that she has not availed herself to the authorities. And if she hasn't, she needs to do that so that she stops the bleeding. The thing is, at this stage in her life, she's hemorrhaging, okay? And the only way you stop the bleeding is by dealing with it. Just face the music. If the police say show up, show up. And move on. They're not gonna listen, when she goes to the police, they're not gonna kill her. They're not gonna hang her from the rafters. They'll just warn her and then leave it there. Okay. All right, listen to this. Victoria says, Simon, these so-called bloggers insult and do stupid things on social media. And this is why it's changed. We have to, there are new laws now that we all have to abide by. And if we don't abide by those laws, there are repercussions. There are consequences to our actions. So, they shouldn't be doing that. Thanks for that comment, Veronica. All right. Clive says, can someone explain this? I need to put my headphones on. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very loud and clear.
Wonderful. Who am I speaking with?
You're talking to Benny.
Hi there.
Hi.
Yes.
So I'm watching you on Facebook.
Are you really?
Yes.
Where are you watching us from?
I'm calling you from, I'm watching you from Quito in Ghana East.
Oh, fantastic. Please go ahead.
Yes. Okay, I actually find the video, the whole fiasco, very troubling because she's a married woman, yes. There are a lot of married women there who are on Facebook, who are vloggers, but they don't go as far as she goes. And this one, she's just brought hell on herself. Who does that? And if she's running away from the cops, it's just making it worse.
Yeah. Yeah. What would your advice be to her at this stage?
Right now, I'd advise her to get off Facebook and go and face the law. She just has to take herself.
Yeah.
Because whether she goes into hiding now, she'll come back. She'll come out tomorrow and she'll be arrested, and it will be worse.
Yeah.
The best is imba walanda chani ibi komchila chila. Yeah, she should just humble herself. She should not be pompous on this one. She made a mistake. You don't give an underage child alcohol. And I was telling my friends today to say, she's been doing this for a long time. And she knows that when you get alcohol, you drink, you have to start dancing because that's what the mother does. Train up a child in a way he or she should grow. And that child is being trained to be a future drunkard, worse than the mother.
I agree with that. And also, let me just add to what you've just said. You know, when I first saw the video, I didn't notice the little girl's eyes. But when I watched the video 2 or 3 times, then I noticed the child's eyes. And you could see the child was slightly drunk.
Did you watch the video of the kid dancing on top of, was it a freezer or the table?
Yes. The
child was drunk and she was busy getting out her hands to grab the alcohol, and the mother was busy encouraging, hey, yes, Akuna, you want to finish? Who does that? I have a son who's 15 years old. When I'm drinking and I try to tease him by giving him, just out of curiosity to see what's going to happen. Have a seat. He'll just say, no, mom, that's not for me. Okay, are you serious? No, mom, that's not for me. That's for you. And you should not even be, he even tells me you should not even be drinking in my presence. That's the child. And you want a child to grow up like that, not feed. You'll find that and they are busy drinking. The child will just go there where there are people, visitors, grab a bottle of alcohol and start drinking. What are you going to say as a parent?
Absolutely.
It's so sad anyway. So
it is sad. It is sad. Thank you so much,
as
my
a
dear.
parent, it's very sad.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Thank you, my dear. You. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, that's how it is, really. And now, you know, of course, there's some people that are saying, well, everybody's making a big deal out of this. Why don't people talk about corruption and politicians and what they do? Of course, people are doing that. But this is a topic of note. You know, this is what I find interesting about, you know, what people say and what they comment on social media. When an issue comes, talk about it. We can't have an issue show up and then say, no, well, we can't talk about this. Let's talk about the 37 houses. Let's not talk about this. No, this is the issue right now. Granted, it will run its course, you know, in a couple of days, we won't even talk about this, you know. But the point is, this issue has come and it has to run its course. We have to talk about it. Okay. All right. Let's see here. One comment. Eva says, I'm sure Mrs. Kennedy inherited her habits from the parents. Well, I saw a photograph of her and one of her parents. Now, guys, let me say this. I don't mean to sound judgmental, but the truth is, when you get to my age, you know these things. I can look at a child, I can look at a teenager, and granted, 9 times out of 10, I know why a child acts the way they act. Just look at the parents. Now, of course, I'm not saying that's the case in every single case, because there are some children that grow up with a sense of normalcy, a sense of self-normalcy. They look at their parents' behavior and they say to themselves, I don't want to be like that. But then there are other kids that they find themselves in a situation where, because they were raised a certain way, they succumb to the way their parents raised them. So I agree with Eva when she says that I'm sure Mrs. Kennedy inherited her habits from her parents. I agree with that. I'm almost absolutely positive that that's partly where she got it from. And it's sad. And this is the reason, guys. This is the reason that, that old saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. That is true. When you look at a child's behavior, usually it is a mirror of what the child looks at from his or her parents. Psychology says we are a product of our environment. That's what psychology says. And it's safe to assume that. So yes, Eva, I agree with you. The video is quite disturbing. And let me tell you why it's disturbing for me, as I was just telling the other caller. It's disturbing because I could see the glaze in the child's eyes. Did you catch that? There's a moment where the child had a glaze in her eyes, and you could see that she was inebriated. She was drunk. And no child deserves to go through that. This is the reason, guys, if you've ever heard of the age of accountability, the age of accountability means that a child comes of age. When a child is born, throughout its infancy, it's not accountable. It doesn't know right from wrong. But based on the lessons you give that child, the child comes to a stage where the child begins to see and realize on its own, this is wrong, this is right. Stealing is wrong. Being a bully is wrong. Hurting someone is wrong. Killing is wrong. They reach the age of accountability. But a child as old as or as young as the child in the video we're talking about, the child doesn't know right from wrong. So of course she's just going to succumb. She'll just follow what the parent says. So that's not right. That's not right to put a child in a position where the child doesn't know any better. The child doesn't know right from wrong, but you are making the child do the wrong thing. No, that's not being a responsible parent. And she really, this young girl, Mrs. Kennedy, I'm not even sure why she's called that. Does anyone know why she's called that? Please tell me in the comments below. But the purpose of this video, and I don't want to lose sight of the fact that what I want to convey to this young lady is don't run away from the law. There is no benefit in that. There is nothing that will come of that is of any good. Never run away from the police. When the police ask to see you, go see them. When the police call you out, you go in. Just go and see them. Everybody remembers the famous photograph. I'll never forget it. In fact, to be honest with you, that is an iconic shot. The famous photograph of this young lady that now is adopted, walking out of, I think she was walking out of or walking to Chimbokaila. She had a yellow top with a chitenge bottom. She went and faced the music. She went through hell. She went through all kinds of stuff, but she faced the music. and she did away with it. She put it behind her. Well, she put that episode behind her. She's had other episodes, but she put that one behind her. So my point is, to this young girl, just go to the police and be done with it. Goodness. We're tired of talking about this too. What, you think it's easy for us vloggers to come up here? Every notable vlogger has talked about this issue. Everyone from, and credit goes to Anita Zanji, folks. Let's not lose sight of that. Anita Zanji was the first vlogger who called this young lady out. And then it snowballed. Everyone from Anita Zanji to Tissa the Trendsetter, everyone of note has talked about this issue. Ken Dumbo did an amazing piece on this issue. Everybody's concerned, okay? And of course, you have a sect of people that say, no, Mr. Mwewa, the hypocrisy of people. How many things have you done that we don't know about? Well, the truth is, this issue is on the table now. So we're dealing with it now. We're not dealing with the two birds in the bush. Oh no, honey. We're talking about the bird in the hand. You got that? All right. Okay, guys. Who is this? Hubby is Mr. Kennedy. But Kennedy from where? Is that his first name? I don't get that. Okay. Oh, someone here is saying Shindano. Her name is Natasha Shindano. I didn't know that. Did you guys know this? I didn't know that. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. God bless. Have a fantastic week. And to my fellow vloggers out there, earlier today I posted, I don't like doing this. You know why? Because I see Kadas doing this. Then I can't stand that. So I don't like this. I prefer this. Yeah. All right. Guys, what was I saying? Because, sometimes I lose my train of thought. Oh, to my fellow vloggers. Earlier today, I posted a YouTube video depicting a group of young men. I think the video was called Smash or Crash or Smash or Pass? One of those. Despicable. You got these youngsters, these young Thundercats, talking about women like they're pieces of meat. That ought not to be that way. That ought not to be so. And a few times they mention a few underage girls, young girls. That should be condemned. Guys, freedom of speech is not free. It comes with a price. Know that. Okay? So before you run out there in the worldie, always understand that freedom of speech comes with a price. Okay? Can't just say whatever you want. You have to operate from within the confines of the law. The moment you overstep, you get in trouble. Okay? All right. Well, hey, guys, got to go. God bless you. Thank you for watching and have a great week. Bye.